we had a day of testimony about Paul Manafort's lavish lifestyle and a good bit of back and forth between the prosecution and the judge about how relevant that is to the case and to the jury, and how much the jury should be able to hear about Manafort's lifestyle, which includes very fancy homes, very fancy cars, rugs, nearly $1 million in expensive high-end suits. So this is a guy who lived lavishly. His defense lawyer stipulated yesterday that Paul Manafort travels in circles that most of us will never understand. That's not a crime. The judge agrees that's not a crime. So even though we heard testimony about that, you can tell that the judge has tried to limit the amount of information and evidence about the specifics of his life to the jury. Yeah, so testimony is going to continue tomorrow morning. We expect tomorrow to get to bookkeepers and accountants. One thing that's important to note about that is that Paul Manafort's defense has been that Manafort's this busy international political consultant. He himself didn't have time to deal with the specifics and minutia of his finances, so he left it to others. We're going to see whether that's really true and whether that's supported by the government's evidence. One thing of note that took place today is that Rick Gates is supposed to be the government's star witness. He's somebody who worked for Paul Manafort. He was his business associate. He pleaded guilty earlier this year and agreed to cooperate with the Mueller investigation. Today, a prosecutor suggested, gee, I don't know if he will or will not testify. That caused a bit of excitement. But then the prosecutor amended that statement to say that that uncertainty applies to any potential witness, and prosecutors will assess who gets to testify, who will testify, the order as the trial progresses. So I think we are still expecting Rick Gates to testify.